Doing?
Hey, buddy. Hey, everybody. This is Credit Thursday with Captain Mortgage and our very special guest, Mr. Devin Norcross. And we've got a few things to talk to you about. I'm going to hand it over to Devin. Let me tell you what we're going to talk about today.
Yeah, today's topic I really enjoy, and it's helping people understand where to find the credit scores that apply to the product that they're looking to purchase. As we've covered in a previous video, Vantage Score is the easiest algorithm that you encounter when looking at free credit reports like Credit Karma or My Credit Keeper or Identity Guard or any of these. And Vantage Score is very useful. Those sites are really more useful for what's on your credit when a change is made. Unfortunately, Vantage Score is not what lending institutions are going to rely on. They're going to need a Fair Isaac score or a FICO score. And there's lots of different FICO scoring models. So it's really important to understand you don't have three credit scores, you have three credit bureaus, and that data can be interpreted with any number of different models yielding a different credit score. So I'd like to share today my favorite place for clients that are in the mortgage purchase process or the automotive process, how they can figure out what their score is before going and sitting down with an institution that's going to put an inquiry on there. Now, if there's any dust up that needs to happen, it can take place before the credit's pulled.
Okay, great. I'm very interested to see.
All right. Sounds good. So what I want to do here is share a different screen. Give me 1 second. All right. This site right here is called myfico.com. All right. Anyone can go there. It is Fair Isaac's own website. They probably have the best education center for credit education of anywhere on the internet. And they have three basic plans, $19.95, which is one bureau, which I would not recommend. Advanced, which is $29.95, which you would do that if you're going to check your credit one time. Or the monthly, which is $39.95. And this will update credit scores every month. It is a very useful site. Now, when you log into My FICO, it's going to give you three big scores. Now, these are the FICO 08 model. If you can see right here, it says FICO 08. And that is going to be a model that we don't use in the mortgage industry. So if you stop here and you don't transition into the site a little bit farther, you're still not going to get an accurate depiction of what credit you need to be looking at. All right. For that, you want to really find that one of two ways. So you can click right here. It says View Additional FICO Score Versions. And if you select that, it's going to break out each of the three credit bureaus up here on the top, and then it's going to break out credit scores down here. And for our mortgage purposes, we look at this second score. This is the FICO version 2. And then we want to go, if I'm in the purchase process, I want to click through each of the three credit bureaus. And I want to make sure I'm looking at all three scores because, Chris, what do the loans go off of?
Goes off the mid score.
Goes off the mid score, guys. So it is not like the automotive industry where they can take the highest score. I will tell you that I often see a very heavy difference in these scores on my clients. It's not uncommon for me to see a file that would have an 80, even 100-point swing between an automotive and a credit model. And it's going to give you some models down here like FICO 9 and 10 that we don't use in lending yet, but they have they're newer models that I hope we get to. They don't calculate for paid medical collections. They reduce the negative impact for a single late versus multiple late. So there's some new models here that I really hope the mortgage industry will one day join. Another way to get to those credit scores, Chris, is if you're at your dashboard through the My FICO site and you want to click on a credit report to see what's recent. When you do that, up here at the top, it will say scores. My internet's quite fast. It looks like their internet is not very fast right now. If you click on scores, we can get down once this loads down to the mortgage side, and that will give us all three scores right beside each other, next to auto, next to credit card, and other score types. So I use this. Wow. You've seen me use this with your client files a lot.
Yeah.
So,
but I don't know if anyone noticed, but could you tell like the FICO score 8 was about there was on about 80 to 100 point swing between that and the mortgage score. So I really encourage everybody, make sure you go in depth on that. Make sure you're getting your mortgage score and not the first score that pops up, because, as you can tell, each model, is going to give you a little bit different credit scores apparently.
Yeah, and there's also different.
Kevin?
Yeah, absolutely. There's also different credit ranges. Some of those models go up to 900. So, on mortgage models, we typically stop at 850. Now, up here in the top right, Chris, is a really handy tool called Simulator, where an individual could really play around with different perceived credit maneuvers, whether it's buying a new car or applying for new credit. Now, this is going to simulate on the FICO 08 model. It is not exact for the mortgage industry, but we can see the most useful aspect is if you move this slide bar on credit card balance reductions down to 1 month, then you can kind of see what's going to happen to your credit score as you vary credit card balances. And this is really useful. It's a tool as a lender that you have, but most credit sites are not going to offer that. And it's also going to have an alert section. So as items are removed or added to the credit report, our balances are updated, you will get alerts on that kind of information.
Now the monitoring part, is that monitoring every single day, or is that monitoring every 7 days, or how?
The alert section, to my understanding, I'm of the opinion that it probably updates weekly. We might be able to see in here some dates, 4th, 5th, 7th. No, it looks like it's updating on a daily basis. So that's really great. This is extremely helpful for when you are advised something by a lender or a credit repair agency such as myself to notice when that item takes place. They also do some black market web surveillance. I don't really know what they do there. My thinking is that's probably going to be an upcharge service. Yeah, I don't know. It's something we should look into. So anyways, I just want to give you guys this tool. This will be much more useful than Credit Karma. It's just an added cost. I paid for $39 a month for this. I have for several years. Anytime I'm going into a purchase process, I can get in here and really closely manage my information.
Hey, Devin, let me ask you a question. I've sent you what I'm able to pull on, like my credit simulators and things like that. How close is my credit simulators in correlation with these that you're pulling on this My FICO site?
Well, the mortgage scores you pull on My FICO are exactly what you're going to pull in-house. The simulators, we'd have to play with a couple and look at them back and forth. I don't know, Chris. I haven't really done that. I would say it's usually within 5 or 10 points reliably. But it's, this is a game of inches and not miles oftentimes. And I can't say specifically what that's going to come in at, but just a tremendous benefit for me and my clients. Let me ask you a quick question. So it would be extremely ideal if someone enrolls with your services to also enroll in this service, and then you would have a plethora of really good monitoring tools to really maximize your ability to help them. Is that a correct statement? It 100% is. It's just an added expense. And, unfortunately, sometimes when I suggest this, I will get a response from a client like, why would I need that? Isn't that what I'm paying you for? And it's unfortunate, but that I don't have access to My FICO. My FICO will only work with you as an individual. You would have to set that up. I couldn't pay for it if I wanted to. I do have a monitoring service I apply to my client files. It does update. We can't update it up to 3 times a month. It's very useful. But for the clients that I work with that can afford the extra expense at $39 a month, I highly recommend it. Unfortunately, a lot of my clients I work with, they have to make decisions. Is it credit repair? Is it monitoring? Is it debt settlement? Where do they put their money? Again, it's a tremendous benefit when I have it, but oftentimes my clients are not in a position where they can add it as an a la carte item.
Okay, no, that's fine. Okay, cool. Is there any other fun things we might want to look at on the site that might help them on something other than mortgages? I know people can save money with their insurance and other things.
Yeah, there's some estimates down here. You can explore rates and things like that. I still think you need to work with your professional mortgage lender like Chris. Really, the big thing I want to talk about really quickly, and I don't want to spend a lot of time on it, is automotive refinance. I've got some brokerages here in Denver I work with that are phenomenal at automotive refinance. As long as you don't have an outstanding repossession balance and you're not behind on your vehicle, they can usually get you refinance around a 5% or under interest rate, as long as you have a minimum of 600. And they'll pull like 4 different scores. Like my guys, they'll pull an Equifax report. It's a single inquiry on one bureau, but they'll get 4 different scores, and they can take the highest. So for clients that are having trouble in a market with rising house prices and their DTI is not checking out, or they're not getting approved for the loan limit that they're really shopping at, an automotive refinance can be an excellent way. Now, it's not always the best thing for the credit right away. It's a short-term loss, long-term gain. But if it is a price point issue of your debt to income ratio, or if you're just not interested in a mortgage, but you are interested in getting your 18.9% interest auto loan refinance, we have options for that. To give you an understanding, a $30,000 vehicle, which is the average purchase price of vehicles, at an 18.9% interest at a 72-month term, is going to pay $27,000 in interest. That is almost 97% of the price of your vehicle that you're also going to pay additionally in interest. And people don't do that. They don't multiply their payment by their term. They just try to get out of there with a payment they can make, and they don't look at that. So vice versa, if you got a 2.9% interest because you had a 680 credit score, you're going to pay about $2,500 in interest. So, really it's up to you. Do you want to pay an extra $25,000 on every vehicle, or do you want to work on fixing your credit? It's simple math.
Somebody I sent you just the other day, they actually have a 20% interest rate on their vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
So that client I just sent you the other day, you definitely want to probably bring that up to her when you talk to them. So
I will. Let me get this. There we go. I absolutely will. I just, when we're looking for a mortgage, I don't want to get too far off in the weeds. I like to refinance things after we get the mortgage secured. But every one of my client files that have the opportunity to refinance should take advantage of it, either immediately or in the near future.
Okay, great. All right, man. Well, is there anything else you want to cover or talk
No, I think that's good. I appreciate your invitation, and I'll get this bundled up and we can both get it posted.
All right, great. Captain Mortgage over and out.
Have a good day, Chris. Bye.
Thanks.
My name is Devin Norcross. This is yournextcreditscore.com. Thanks for checking in.